My name is Carmen, and today we have a reading for you about somebody who's in a relationship, and I feel like they're very focused on how people judge them or view them or talk about them. There is an ego, probably only room for one in this relationship, but maybe we've got both people that are dealing with some toxic behaviors. But I feel like from the outside, there's this, maybe we shouldn't ask too many questions, or maybe I've seen something and misinterpreted it. There's someone who doesn't really want to admit, perhaps, that they're dealing with someone who is toxic, or there's someone who's very invested in trying to make sure that they are seen as like emotionally mature or respectable, right? Hello, Key Controller. Hello, Antonio. Hello, Carrie. How we doing? Let's call in spirit with a little bit of wind chime time. And I hope you're having a wonderful day. If you're interested in a personal reading, I would love to do one for you. Oh, that's awesome. My email address is wickedwandstarot@gmail.com. It's in the description box for you, as is more information on how to become a member. Hello, how's it going, Pagan? Hello, Minnesota Picker. What's going on? If you're looking for more shorts or more just like shorter readings, like 15 minutes long, memberships might be a good option for you. Otherwise, let's dive in. I think we're gonna start with, all right, I don't use this one as much because it's a little bit, the cards are really quite large, and my hands are not. But I guess also there's a little bit of a risk. Was this one? No, this one doesn't have the boob. It's the other one. Hello, Aya. How are you doing? Oh, I like the 222. Oh, I hope you feel better soon, Key. Hello, Zats. How you doing? I'm glad to hear that, Carrie. Aya, let me know if you would like me to pull any cards for you, or if you are just a delightful person. Those are the two options. I'm just kidding. You could be a delightful person and still want cards pulled, right? I hope you do. You as well. So we have the Three of Swords, the Crone of Swords. So this would be the person who's got some toxic behaviors. It's just specifically saying machismo. I don't want to get too gendered on the reading, so I'm not gonna like make it seem like this could only be a man who's misbehaving here or being toxic. But there is an ego in the relationship. And this is someone who feels like they get to control how people see things, or they're the person who understands logic. They're the person who gets to make the decisions. But with the Six of Pentacles in the reverse, they did not get to make this decision. Ooh, it kind of feels to me like there's someone contemplating ending this relationship. If you're going to continue to feel like you're the only one whose opinion matters, then maybe I don't need to be in this relationship. Because the Hierophant in the reverse. So whoever is less toxic or not toxic is being honest with themselves about the fact that they're dealing with somebody who is unreasonable. Hello, Francisco. How are you doing? Hello, Sharp. How are you today? Thank you. What's with the face? Why the long face? We've got the Ace of Cups in the reverse and the Knight of Cups in the reverse. Yeah, I think this is someone who's realizing I've been betrayed, or, too frustrated with the same argument happening over and over again in this relationship. Maybe this person's ego is just too much to deal with at this point. So we have some sadness and some frustration and contemplating, maybe it's time to move on or find something different, right? Not necessarily find a different relationship. Maybe for some, that's what they're thinking. But starting a new chapter is more what I think this is. Hello, Ayush. How are you doing? Oh, you too, Lillian. Let's just make sure that we're being respectful and tolerant of folks' beliefs in the live chat, though, okay? We've got the Ten of Wands. Yeah, this is like, you know what? I've tried. I've, spoken to you in a very respectful way, or I've tried to help you to understand how I feel about something. And it seems like you're just not interested in considering a different perspective or hearing that something needs to change. So I think they're at the point where they're thinking, maybe it's time to just walk away. Hello, Grindhard. How are you doing? Hello, Alexa. How are you doing? Or is it Alex Alexis? Sorry. Whatever I'm supposed to call you, feel free to let me know. Hey, Mango. Don't mind that one, but let's try to keep politics out of the live chat, please. Hello, Discipleship. What's up? Let's just try to make sure that we're remaining tolerant of folks in the live chat, okay? We have the Seven of Cups and the Tower. Wow, and the Six of Pentacles in the reverse is clarifying the Six of Pentacles in the reverse. So it's the exact same card. There's 78 cards, but it's also in the reverse. Very low probability. So they've kept you in a state of confusion for a reason, because they do like to control information or perception. But there's something here that they could not manage or control or handle, and you were able to discover that this is somebody who, at the end of the day, is toxic. Now, keep in mind, you could be like, a best friend or someone who's supporting a person who's in this relationship. You could be the person who's basically being honest and saying, I'm dealing with someone who's toxic. You could even be the person that's being identified as toxic. But this is somebody who's saying, I'm not interested in being in this relationship anymore because it feels like you're not being honest. Feels like you're trying to justify the unjustifiable. So if I need to go through some disruption or heartbreak and leave this relationship so that I can be in a relationship that is honest, then I will do that. Or if someone has lied and said that they wanted to be in a long-term relationship, whether that's living together, married, having kids, perhaps you feel like they've been disingenuous. Perhaps you feel like they were just kind of like promising that, but not actually invested in it. Hello, 4748. Merry Christmas to you and a Happy New Year as well. Yep. There's too often a third party, right? Someone who's got their opinions. So we've got Justice and the Sun in the reverse. So if I'm not happy and if this doesn't seem to be something that we can work on because you don't want to admit it, or, to you don't think it's a problem, then I think there's someone who's saying, then the only thing I can really do is remove myself from the situation. Hey, thank you, Lambo. Not much of a ponytail girl. If I put it back, I guess sometimes it's a clip, but I was more of like the French braid type. Like, if I'm painting, I need my hair out of my face. It's probably braids. Hello, Ashwin. How are you doing? Hello, is it Aries? How are you doing? Yes, this is a general collective. And if there are requests for personal questions, I usually do those at about 30 or 35 minutes in, with priority to those who tip or donate. You can also donate memberships, which is really fun. Then I'll pull cards for you as well. So we have Page of Wands, Three of Pentacles, and the reverse, Ace of Pentacles. Ooh. For some of you, this is like the relationship is ending because they didn't want to be honest with you. This King of Swords, again, does not have to be a man. They had some ego or pride over who they could connect with. Maybe they were friends with somebody who was a very bad influence in terms of their behaviors. Maybe they were flirting with someone. Maybe they were still talking to an ex. There's something here where I feel like they didn't want to be honest with you about what they were actually doing, and they also knew that it was something that was upsetting you, that you weren't really a fan of. And I feel like they repeated this. They did something again, or they, you know, broke a promise, and to you that's like, okay, so this doesn't actually matter to you then, right? Another Hierophant in the reverse, a breakup. Ten of Wands. I don't want to continue to guess what's going on. I don't want to continue to be in this state of confusion. I don't want to continue to battle with your ego. Five of Wands. Fool in the reverse. Sometimes you just have to ask, you know, is there a way to get where I want to be, whether this is, you know, being respected in a workplace or having a friend that you can trust, a partner that you can trust. This is someone who's like, this is too much of a fight and it feels like nobody else is here. So if I can't see a way to make this work, then why would I continue to try to fight? Why would I try to convince you to care or to see things differently? Kind of feels like you've reached a wall, like you're just not into it anymore. If they're not going to put forth the effort, then you're not either. Ooh, sorry. Hello, Shambhala. What's up? Oh, don't worry about personal information as far as giving a reading. I don't need that information, and I'd rather you have some privacy. So I'm just going to remove that for you. Hello, drafts. Yes, the first 30 minutes tend to be the general reading, and then after that, personal questions. I'm not worried about that, Steve-O, but thank you for looking out. Oh, Ashwin, I'm going to put you in just like a 1-minute timeout. Please stop putting your personal information in the live chat, okay? All right, so we have drastic, extreme, harsh, cutoff, focus, and realization. Yeah, so you understood, or you're, you know, maybe it's your friend, maybe it's someone you're interested, but we have this realization, I'm dealing with, or I'm in a relationship with somebody who is toxic, somebody who is not interested in communicating in an honest way, or somebody who's trying to manipulate the information. Now this person is really focused on you because they didn't think you would leave. They didn't think you would end the connection. I don't disagree with you, see? I would just ask that you not be judgmental, okay? Hello, Donatez. I'm not used to someone else calling me Carmel. That's what Lemonade usually calls me. But how you doing? Hello, Grindhard. Thank you for the tip. How we doing? Has there been talks from Micah this afternoon? And is she thinking about me putting a ring on it? And what was the last one? Hello, great one. How are you doing? Will she marry me if I do it? All right, I've added that. Thank you, Grindhard. Hello, Fashion. How we doing? Oh, that's funny. I thought maybe it was because he saw there's a moderator. I guess his username is actually Aidster. And I joked that I didn't know what he wanted me to call him. So I called him Lemonade. And then he decided to create one for me. Hello, Michael. How are you doing? Oh, I love that, Carla. And it is just one letter off, so that's kind of perfect, isn't it? I love it. What else do we have? We have someone who is in denial and going through quite the mental anguish, feeling frustrated, feeling threatened. This is that King of Swords, the toxic, ego-driven person who, again, did not think that the relationship would end on someone else's terms. And I would imagine is angry in part because they feel like they look foolish to other people. It's probably someone who doesn't deal with rejection very well. Hello, Erkin. How are you doing? So we have Negotiator, Nightlife, and Twin Flames. Interesting. Okay, so we've got someone who, now that you have walked away or broken up with this individual, this is someone who feels like they need to take a risk and make some sort of offer. They, for whatever reason, feel like you are supposed to be theirs. Like, if I were to use the Overthinker's Oracle, which I probably will, I would think the card that would come out is like, you belong to me. I think this person's possessive. This King of Swords is frustrated because they feel like nothing they're doing is working, but I'm not really convinced that they have tried just taking like an honest approach or like, you know, good old-fashioned accountability. So that could be the block here and why somebody has ended the relationship. That's funny. I like it. I'm glad to hear that, Erkin. Hey, Fashion. Yeah, I offer private personal readings. My email is in the description box. It's just wickedwandstarot@gmail.com. They start at $40 USD. But I have a few options. Hello, Mike. How are you doing? Otherwise, if you just have like, you know, a quick question or something, then the personal questions at the end of live streams might be the more economical choice. It's just, you know, I can appreciate some people might want to have a more private forum. So this is the truth is, we have somebody who's playing games just to keep your attention. This is the toxic person who needs attention, right? The King of Swords. But I feel like you're going to get additional information about this person that confirms your intuition or the decision that you made to walk away. For some of you, this is someone you thought that was your twin flame, but it wasn't. For others of you, this King of Swords may have even tried to convince you that you were twin flames. I'm generally not a fan of that, by the way. I do feel like they've been manipulative and tried to stake some sort of claim like, you are mine, that's just like how it is kind of thing. What do my friends think of me after dinner? How are you doing, Stephanie? Thank you for the tip. I hope you have some fun weekend plans. Of me after dinner? I've added that. Thank you, Stephanie. So Fashion, this would currently be a general collective reading, which usually means that if it resonates, probably not all of it will, and you just want to make sure that you're placing the energy where it makes sense. So we have apprehensive, uncertain about the future of the connection. This is why we have someone who feels like, you know, the ending of the relationship makes sense. Maybe for some of you who haven't actually walked away yet, but this angry response from the King of Swords when the breakup does happen or when they are, you know, left behind, I feel like a lot of this is tied to insecurity and feeling like they need to control how people look at them or feel about them. Let's see. Should we check for you? Oh, it says no. It says that you're going to have a cycle of high and low emotions with no resolve. So I think that means no ending or, you know, happy. Sorry, guys. Especially for those of you if you can't see the live chat. Really though, for this general reading, we have somebody that was not willing to work on the problems that you brought to them. So if you had an issue with communication, hey, I'd like it if you respond to me faster. Maybe you didn't get to see them very often, or maybe they canceled plans a lot. Maybe you just felt like you didn't understand where they were at emotion wise. This is somebody who was resistant to what you were saying you needed. And at a certain point, you have to ask yourself, if this person doesn't seem to want to update how they approach me based on what works and what doesn't, then does that really work for me? We should be able to have a conversation in whether it's, you know, a platonic connection or a romantic one about what's working and what's not, right? Hey, April, how are you doing? April, I hope you're enjoying your weekend, by the way. Hello, Pink, what's up? I hope you're having a good weekend. This is the Pulp Tarot, if I did not mention that. What else do we have, please? A Seven of Cups in the reverse, the Five of Swords, and the Emperor. This is someone who feels like you're ruining their plans. I don't know if they wanted to like bring you somewhere, if they felt like, you know, they get points for being in a relationship. I don't know if this is because of the holidays and they felt like you needed to be, you know, like their arm candy or the person that goes with them to the family things. But we have a sense of someone who's normally in control, feeling like they do not have control and you've like ruined their plans. This is like someone who is updating their perception or like how they title you. Maybe they're literally changing their name, like how they contact you or what your name is in the contact. But this is a person who's like, okay, game on. I guess this is different now. I don't feel like this is a very mature response. It feels like they want to be petty. Page of Cups in the reverse, Knight of Pentacles, Six of Pentacles in the reverse. This is literally, I don't know how long it will take, but I will find a way to hurt you the way that you hurt me. So maybe I'll give it a little space. Maybe I'll let you have enough time to forget about me. And then I'll come back around and you'll think that I have good intentions or I learned my lesson. But then I'll get you back. I don't like this. I don't like this plan at all. I think this King of Swords just needs a hobby. Three of Cups in the reverse. They feel like you've ruined how people look at them. They feel like they had everything the way that they wanted it. And then because you couldn't just like deal with it, they lose what they want. I wonder what it's like always blaming everybody else. I'm not convinced that these issues that they're facing are other people's fault, you know? Hello, Vanquish. Hello, Ariel. How are we doing? Hello, Matthew. Yep, exactly. Ooh, yeah, that's not a good move. We have the Two of Wands in the reverse and the Sun in the reverse. So yeah, you rained on their parade, you ruined their plans, you've caused them great shame. I'm exaggerating a little bit, but that's what they're thinking, right? Like, you ruined my life, you made things so much more complicated, like, you're the problem. But are you? Because I think it's really just that they're mad that you weren't willing to tolerate their behavior, their treatment of you. Yeah, they're mad because they want to be mad if you're mad. Like, oh, you don't like me anymore? Well, I don't like you either. You're not invited to my birthday party anymore. And you better give me my video game back too. Meh. I'm mocking this person and maybe I shouldn't, but like, this is a little bit ridiculous because it's that whole, like, I'm going to be disrespectful or not very kind to you, even though, I don't know, are we in a friendship or a relationship here? I think both of those would require or generally like there's an obligation of being kind, right? They're being mad at you is tied up in their insecurity or frustration, their lack of confidence because of how you're no longer willing to take that, right? And they're at some point going to have to learn accountability. If not now, when? You're like, here you go. Here's a little lesson for you. See, if I offer good things to you and I try to be nice to you, but then you just are mean, then I take that away. So maybe learn from that. I feel like this is someone whose preference is to make you out to be the problem. So, yeah. I don't know if that's going to go very well for them. Because they do have some responsibility here. Thank you. Is it Aish? I'm going to write that down. If this is your first time here, I start the personal questions at about 30 or 35 minutes in, so not much longer than 5 minutes, if that. Tell me about my career. Awesome. I've got that written down for you. And just so you all know, we've got Grind Hard, Stephanie, and then Aish at the end. If we heard back from Aya, I don't know if you wanted me to pull some cards, but let me know if you would. Hello, James. How are you doing? Hello, Gavin. Hello, Shyam. Yeah, see, that's like a really important part of relationships, though. You know? I personally feel better when I take accountability for the things that I do. It's like, you know, cleaning up after you cook. It's not the thing that you really want to be doing, right? You'd probably rather be relaxing, but knowing that you don't have to do it later is really nice. Knowing that you did it when it wasn't like caked on because you let it sit there for 4 hours, you know? This is someone who, it's like they have a stomach ache because they got called out for what they did and they're used to sidestepping that. So let's get a few from the Overthinker's Oracle. We'll see if that possessive card comes out, right? Let me add that for you, Grind. Let's see. I think I can add that in the side. Has she told anyone I would have put a ring on it? I added it. We've got it for you. Thank you, Grind Hard. Hello, Prince. I'm not sure how to say that first part, so I'm just gonna call you Prince. Just whatever spirit needs you to know. Perfect. Thank you, Aya. Need to know. And you're the first one, Aya. Just so you know. All right, so what else do we have from this King of Swords? I'm sorry, I never should have strung you along. Karmic partner. This is someone who is being challenged to learn something from the connection with you. They're struggling to sleep at night because they do tend to think about you quite a lot at night. This is somebody who's thinking about taking a risk. Remember, we also had this over here, which says take a risk on it. I feel like God is punishing me. I dream about making things right between us and you loving me again. They feel like this is a missed opportunity and that it's going to be impossible to find someone like you. They know they should have treated you better. Oh, you're so welcome. This person has been going through hard times. Now, this could be specifically financial, but this could also be more like, you know, problems with family or workplace drama. This is someone who has constantly felt like they needed to know how to manipulate people in different areas of their life. which is a little bit stressful. I don't know why they feel that way, but maybe they've been raised in kind of difficult circumstances, but they always felt like they needed to like strategize. Now we have someone who feels like they don't want to be distracted by other people. They just want to be with you. If they were non-committal before, you're going to see that shift. But there's a lot at risk here because this is the kind of person who would treat or like work on a small amount of what needs to be dealt and then be like, look, I did it. It's all great. Like if you were to ask a 7-year-old to clean up the playroom and they put up or like put away 30% of what was in the playroom and they're like, look, it's all good, right? Oh, that stays there because that's where it always is. This is someone who's probably not going to do justice to what they really need to be doing before coming back around and claiming that, you know, you should be back together. They didn't understand what this connection was until after they lost you, and they miss how their relationship with you used to be. The problem is, I don't feel like you miss how the relationship used to be because they were not being considerate of you. Now, maybe if they're talking about the first couple of weeks and, you know, they were on their best behavior or maybe wearing a mask, then maybe you would agree. But even then, I think you would look at that as wondering if they were just being fake. Was that really them? Then do I really want to just be hanging out with somebody who's faking who they are? Not really. What I'm trying to say is it doesn't really feel to me like this is somebody who understands or like fully grasps why you walked away or what they need to do differently in order for things to potentially be better between the two of you. So hopefully they have some more introspection, or maybe they've got a buddy who can give them some really solid advice, but it feels like they're on a little bit of like the wrong path. All right, let's switch to personal questions. For Aya, what is it that Aya needs to know, please? What is it that Aya needs to know? Ace of Pentacles in the reverse. Rejuvenation in the reverse. 3 of Wands. There's something here you need to take action on in order to avoid a loss. You may be waiting for something to come back around or be balanced. It's like seeing that a soda has spilled on the table and hoping that it's going to like correct itself. There's an action you need to do. Like if we see something spilled, 9 times out of 10, we have this like automatic reaction, right? We're like, try to correct the issue, put the soda back on the table, whatever it might be. There's an action here that you need to take to get balance to come back around. And if this balance is not worked on, there's someone who takes advantage of that imbalance or that like lack of oversight. We have the 7 of Cups in the reverse, the Page of Pentacles, and the 2 of Cups. Is this a friendship? No. So there could be someone, maybe even someone you're romantically connected to, or even like a romantic partner of a friend of yours. But I feel like there's someone who's going to give you advice on what you need to address. Is there going to be some sign that helps? All I'm seeing is like the color gold. I don't know if this person wears a gold ring. Or maybe they root for a team and, you know, their getup has gold on it. Maybe they have a gold chain. But I feel like someone's going to tell you what you need to do in order to avoid a loss. And you got to be able to take actions on that right away. Hey, James. Thank you. Does that mean you would like some good advice? Hello, Jennifer. How are you doing? Hello, Curtis. What's up? Oh, you got this, Aya. Hello, number 1. All right, let's see what we've got for Grind Hard. I'm going to get a different tarot deck for you. This is the Sansamware Day. And what do we have? Oh gosh, I can't like read it. Has Micah talked about Grind Hard this morning? Or sorry, this afternoon. I wrote it like sideways. Has Micah been talking about Grind Hard in the last few hours? How about that? Yes. We have the Fool and the Sun. There's some excitement about some plans or something that you've been talking about in the near future. Whether this is like seeing you in person or, you know, maybe there's a trip. I do feel like there's been a decent amount of talk about you with a close friend or somebody that is in her inner circle. And is she thinking about Grind Hard putting a ring on it? Yes, with the Ace of Cups, no less. And the World in the reverse. She is, in fact, daydreaming about that. And will she marry Grind Hard if he asks? Yes. We have the Hermit and the Knight of Swords. I do feel like there'd be potentially like a little bit of a hesitation that would make you nervous. But I think this is just like processing, and maybe she's just not one to like automatically say something. But the answer, I think, would be yes. And has she told anyone that Grind Hard would put a ring on it? Not yet. I think she's trying to figure out what's going on in her friendship group. Does she suspect that someone's interested in Grind Hard in her friend group? See, I think she's being a little tight-lipped around her friends because she knows that somebody has a crush on you or that someone is jealous of her. So I think she's trying to figure that out before she says too much. Hello, Pramila. How are you doing? Oh, I'm so glad that you did well. Good for you. Hello, Ricky. How are you doing? Hello, Godwin. How are you? Oh, I'm sending you protective energy. All right, so Grind Hard, we are rooting for you. I hope you enjoy your weekend. And we've got Stephanie up next. What do my friends think of me after dinner? King of Pentacles, Queen of Hearts. There's some consideration here for your compassion, your stability, but there's also something here with regards to you kind of returning the favor. Is this like tongue-in-cheek? Why does it feel to me like someone, it's like some people are cheering you on or like supportive of what you said, and some people are like, was there like a calling someone out kind of thing? I feel like there's a mixed crowd here. There are some people who are like, I totally agree with what happened, or I am totally supportive of what you said. I know why you did what you did. And then there's other people who are like, I don't know about all that. But you're seen as the Queen of Cups and the King of Pentacles. I don't know if you're mediating an argument, but yeah, there's some in favor, some not. Some who feel like you've been like stepping over the bounds or being a little bit too vocal. But the Two of Cups in the reverse. This could be folks who don't want to be honest about the truth of the situation. And if that's the case, then I would say let them be mad. You know, like, I'm sorry, but we have to be at a place where we embrace the truth and what it means, even if it is frustrating or disappointing. If someone's mad at you because you said something that was true, I'm not even getting that you were rude about it. I don't know. It just kind of feels like someone's inconvenienced here. It's like, oh, sorry. But you got some people who are rooting you on, you know? Hello, Dana. Thank you. Let me write that down real quick. Is new person coming in an X? And will Bond stay in my life as a friend? I hope your day's going well, hun. And thank you for subscribing, Godwin. And I think I got everything for you, right? Okay. So we've got Aish up next. We'll go with the Egyptian tarot. If I could get all of them. Oh, it could be grind hard. I'm trying to remember, there was something that came out the other day when you asked a question. If there's already issues, like if Mike has already said something about not being sure if she can trust someone in particular, it would probably be that person. Will money be easy this weekend? I got you, James. And I sure hope so. What is the career advice that we have for Aish, please? 9 of Cups in the reverse, 4 of Pentacles in the reverse, 5 of Wands, 2 of Wands in the reverse. This seems to be saying that it is in your best interest to take a lower level slot or position or title, to let go of a certain parameter that is preventing you from getting to where you want to be, because you would be the type to stand out or compete favorably, right? You would likely get a promotion. So maybe you need to change as far as like how you're looking, like cast a wider net basically. Or if you are not applying to places now and hoping to get a promotion, you might need to apply outside. Yeah. It feels to me like if you're trying to decide whether or not to apply outside versus trying to make things work at your current place, the current place is not doing right by you and plans to continue to not do right by you. And there's something else out here for you that would be better. 7 of Pentacles, 8 of Pentacles, 10 of Pentacles in the reverse. You're not getting paid, or you're not, it's like what you have the ability to kind of bank on now is not going to pay you, or is not currently paying you what you should be paid. I'm glad to hear that, James. Queen of Cups. Ace of Swords in the reverse. So don't put too much stock in the kind or like friendly words of someone that you might be dealing with currently, because I do think that they're trying to cover up something that they don't want you to know, and there's something better for you at a different location or with a different company, maybe even in a different industry, right? All right, let's see what we have for James. This is the Morgan Greer. Well, that's weird. Why does it say Victor then? How are you doing? I hope your weekend's going well. Hey, Rage and Ricky, I'm gonna delete your comment and give you an opportunity to be respectful, and I hope you take it. James is asking, will money be easy this weekend? Aish, I wish you luck in that career, by the way. Will money be easy this weekend for James? I feel like it's going to be difficult the bulk of the time, and then there's going to be one person who changes things. So when you ask a question like that, I think back on, you know, like bartending and serving. I'm not sure if that's like the line of work that you're in, but it's making me think of days where it was like everything I could do to try and get like close to 20% or, you know, make what I was hoping to make that day. And then one, like the last table or whatever, or the last person at the bar finally closes out and they overtip. You know, there's something here where it's like it's like pulling teeth at the beginning of the day, and then at the end of the night, we have someone who's like, oh, well, here you go. I'm going to tip you extra. So it might make you wait. It might be frustrating up until the end. Let me add that grind heart. I just got Dana written down before you. Is it the friend that you texted? And we've got, is Dana's new person an ex? Good luck to you, James. Is Dana's new person an ex? No. 10 of Pentacles in the reverse. Knight of Pentacles, 4 of Wands. This is somebody who may be a little bit younger than you, or somebody who may have been living at a distance, because I feel like this is somebody who has had a lot of things that they've been working on and probably hasn't been dating much recently, the new person. But I don't get that this would be someone you've already dated. This would be somebody who is new. You may have met them, but I don't feel like you've dated them. And will Bond stay as a friend? I don't know that that would be his modus operandi. I think he's more likely to be a little bit of a loner. But I do feel like you will enjoy the company of the new person. And hello, Sayur. How are you doing? Over the next few months, do you see major financial breakthrough for me? And any financial windfall? Oh, you're so welcome. All right, let's take care of Grindhard's question. Is it the friend who has been texting Grindhard that Micah is concerned about? Is Micah concerned about the friend? Yes. And there could be, other than the texting, some reason that she feels this person's interested in you. And let's see what we've got for Sayur. This is the Meta Muse. Oh, Stephanie said there was a second question. Looking. Oh, I did not. Thank you, Stephanie. Sayur, give me 2 seconds. I'm going to tackle Stephanie's second question first, and then I'll go back to yours. What does his karmic think of Stephanie and the outcome? This is somebody who feels like they didn't take enough action or didn't take enough bold action. We've got the 4 of Pentacles and the 3 of Wands. This is someone who expected pacing to be different. So I didn't think things would happen that quickly, or, you know, I didn't think it would take that long. But I do feel like this person views you as dishonest or somebody who has made things more difficult. Why the Ace of Wands? The Hierophant and the 10 of Cups. This is confusion with regards to what somebody wants for the long term. What does this person really want? Do they want a relationship? Have they changed? Have they decided they want someone else? So I would say overarching theme here is confusion and feeling like maybe you lied about something. I don't know if that's a fair assessment. But yeah, they're wondering why things changed. All right, so we've got Sayur, and then, ooh, hello, Nat Nat. How are you doing today? Over the next few months for Sayur, do you see major financial breakthrough or a major financial windfall? Not over the next few months. It does feel like these next few months are really important as far as what you're able to contribute or what you work towards. But I feel like it would take probably more like 6 to 8 months, up to 10 months. So a little bit longer ramp up period there. And what is it that Nat Nat needs to know coming up for 2026? You've got the King of Pentacles and the Six of Wands. You've got some maybe financial or professional success coming your way. This could also be about your living situation, maybe feeling like you find the right path or where you're meant to be. But it's important for you to be very selective or kind of picky about what you invest in, where you spend your time, how you make your decisions regarding your money or where you are, because it's going to impact how great that actually ends up being for you. But I love the Six of Wands. This is also saying make sure that you take quick action when you know that it's going to make a big difference in the outcome or the bottom line for you. And is there anything with regards to love? Watch out for somebody who wants to sabotage a connection for you. This could be a friend who gives bad advice or somebody who is overly demanding of your time. This is somebody who's going to try to make it difficult for you to be able to see or pursue a romantic connection. And you're meant to have space for that in your life in 2026, or you're not meant to sacrifice this for this person who feels a little bit demanding. All right. I love you all. Thank you for the likes. Thank you for the subscribes. I hope you enjoy your weekend, and I'll see you on the next reading.